At one time, Cornwall's industrial centre was the most renowned in Canada. Growing along the riverbanks from Marlborough to Cumberland Street and then north to 9th, Cornwall's economy was based on the river with the completion of the Cornwall Canal in 1842. The canal provided the transportation and water power needed for the mills and textile plants. During the 1840s, the East End evolved into Cornwall's industrial centre when the canal water rights were leased to the mill owners. The first in operation included flour mills, tanneries, and woolen mills. The Stormont Dundas Canada Cotton Mill was among the first major manufacturers to locate in Cornwall. While Cornwall's industry and population grew, the rest of the country was experiencing a severe recession. With the promise of work in Cornwall, many people from Quebec moved to the city. The industrial expansion which occurred along the waterfront between 1870 and 1880, and with such a high volume and demand for the product, work outpaced local population growth. By 1881, the population had more than doubled, jumping from 2,033 people in 1871 to 4,468 people in 1881. A quarter of Cornwall's population was now French Canadian, making them the largest ethnic group in the city. In 1882, Canada Cottons erected the largest weave shed in the world, and in April of 1883, Thomas Edison arrived in Cornwall with his bright idea, the light bulb. The weave shed portion of the Canada Cotton Mill was the second factory in Canada electrically lighted with the electric incandescent lamps in glass globes, a package system designed by Edison. The system failed when first turned on, but after a few minutes, the building was illuminated. Cornwall was now Canada's preeminent factory town. Mill employers now had the option to work day and night, and this let production double, but it also led to workers getting injured more often. Responding to the unsafe working conditions in the mills, the town of Cornwall elected MP Dr. Darby Bergen. Darby Bergen was Canada's first industrial safety legislation advocate. Bergen introduced the private members' bills to regulate working conditions for women and children. His efforts led to the introduction of legislation regulating labor conditions in Ontario factories. On December 7th of 1959, after 76 years in operation, Canada Cottons closed its doors. This led to 1,300 employees without work. For years, the cotton mills stood amongst le village with no real purpose, until a plan was drawn up for the Cotton Mill Lofts project in the early 2000s. On October 10, 2010, a fire erupted. 36 firefighters battled the nighttime blaze, but in the end, the old cotton mill was reduced to rubble. 4 teenagers were later charged with arson for the cotton mill fire of 2010.